Lines. Tinubu makes claims on 2015-2019 elections. Reactions trail emergence of two sons of Chief Justice in Bauchi primaries. Suspended Accountant General released from EFCC custody. And on the foreign scene, Indian officials meet acting Foreign Minister of Afghanistan to discuss bilateral ties. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. One of the frontline presidential aspirants of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says he led a political struggle that produced President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. Tinubu made the comment on Thursday while addressing party delegates at the Presidential Lodge in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Tinubu also categorically said he nominated Professor Yemi Osinbajo as Buhari's running mate, and about his role in the election of Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State, saying with his political experience in the last 25 years, he deserves to be given the chance to lead Nigeria. Tinubu was in company of Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his Kano counterpart Umar Ganduje, and former Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima. Meanwhile, Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Delta State, Olisa Efijiaka, says Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State is capable of occupying the seat of President of Nigeria with his performance and contributions to national politics. The Chief Press Secretary stated this in response to remarks by an analyst on a TV program referring to Governor Okowa as unfit to be considered as PDP's vice presidential candidate. Addressing journalists at Government House Asaba, the CPS said Governor Okowa has the requisite experience to not only be vice president, but president, as he has demonstrated in different capacities. Ifejiaka berated the analyst for spreading falsehood about the development of Delta State under the leadership of Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. And still talking politics, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, for the 2023 elections, Atiku Abubakar, has received Rivers State Governor at his residence in Abuja. Atiku had earlier met Wike in Abuja at his Abuja residence, hours after Atiku beat him to the party's presidential ticket. Wike, after the initial meeting, proceeded to Rivers State, where he was greeted by his supporters. He then traveled to Abuja for the second meeting on Wednesday. It was a pleasure to receive His Excellency Nyesom Wike in the company of notable leaders and officials of our great party, the PDP, at my residence, Atiku said in a statement on Facebook. The PDP is currently shopping for a vice presidential candidate for Atiku, and Mr. Wike has been rumored to be one of the favorites to fill the post. Mixed reactions have continued to greet the emergence of two sons of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Muhammad Tanko, as candidates for Bauchi North on the platforms of the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party. Adamu Imam takes a look at the divergent views of Bauchi residents on how the two candidates emerged as their party's flag bearers. The report.
In Bauchi, many political parties have conducted their primary elections for the State House of Assembly, National Assembly, as well as governorship seat across the 20 local government areas of the state. Although the election have come and gone, what has refused to go with the election is how the two sons of the Chief Judge of Nigeria, Muhammad Tanko, who won both in the All Progressives Congress APC and People's Democratic Party PDP respectively. Ibrahim Muhammad Tanko, who is the elder brother, won the senatorial seat of Bauchi North Senatorial Zone under the platform of APC with 179 votes, defeating the incumbent Senator Bulkachua, who scored 0 votes, while the junior brother Sani Muhammad Tanko won the House of Representatives ticket for Gyade Shira Federal Constituency by defeating other contestants to also emerge winner under the platform of the People's Democratic Party. However, based on the outcome of the primaries, many people, especially supporters of both parties, are of the view that the victory of the two sons was as a result of their father's influence, despite not being a politician himself.
I cannot say that they voted because of the influence of their father. They voted because of their good behaviors of those people. As I know, if there is any problem with them, they cannot vote them at the same house like that.
Corroborating this position is Adamu Muhammad Jahun says credibility and the need to deliver effective representation led to the outcomes of the primaries. Senator Bulkatua is nowhere to be found. Since he was elected, he thought delegates or party stalwarts are like before, that you could swear with money. Not anymore. The narrative has changed. I think the outcome of the election is a lesson to all participants that they should deliver democratic dividends to the peoples they represent or get kicked out. Haji Arabi, a woman leader, dispels rumors that financial inducement determined the outcomes of the polls elections.
They are the kind of people we need in our constituency and especially in Bauchi State. For us, financial inducement during elections no longer holds sway because our electorates are wiser now. My opinion is that they have the right to aspire to whatever height they want. After all, the incumbents have nothing to offer the electorates.
Their personality and their degree of human relation with people or their community is what I can refer to as the contributing factor of their success.
Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And the Borno State PDP governorship candidate, Muhammad Ali Jajari, has vowed to end one-party system in the state if elected. The party flag bearer said the PDP is ready to challenge and unseat the incumbent governor, Umar Zulum, in next year's election. He said he'll focus on insecurity, power and nepotism in the state if given the chance. Jajari, who debunked claims that PDP is involved in anti-party activities with the ruling party, described such insinuations as mere sentiments meant to sabotage PDP's existing chance of winning the 2023 polls.
He's still threatening a lot of things. Secondly, to make sure all the sacked employees, government public employees, returned back to their service. And the third one is that there should be contracts, awards done by reputable companies, not family business. Well, they're using the term direct labor, but everybody knows it's not direct labor. It's contract given to cronies, family members, and associates. And that's why most of the contracts that are done are expired within a short period of time. There's so many ways to generate power. I really do not see anything he's doing that is so impressive. Nothing. Anybody, you can do it. Anybody can do it.
There are so many sentiments in respect to how the ruling party have so many moles in our party that work for them. But with this development, you have one party, PDP. Our house now is in order, and we are preparing to take over power from APC come 2023. They have been using the IDPs for elections, to win elections. Now they themselves are the one who returns those IDPs back. So from all indication, we are taking over Plus this newly enacted electoral act. We are very hopeful. All those monkey business in election process will no longer be there. We win a good election. Everyone is having enough with the APC.
Now to judicial matters, where the Federal Capital Territory High Court in the Wuse area of Abuja has remanded Peter Nwachukwu, husband of a late gospel singer Osinachi, in the Kuje Correctional Facility. Nwachukwu will be in prison pending the hearing and determination of the homicide-related suit instituted against him by the Attorney General of the Federation. The presiding judge, Justice N.K. Nwosu Iheme, gave the order on Friday after he pleaded not guilty to 23 charges bordering on domestic violence and homicide, among others. She ordered that the suspect be remanded in the correctional facilities while the trial was adjourned to June 16th and 17th. The gospel singer died on April 8th, and many of her colleagues had accused her husband of subjecting the victim to domestic violence, which led to her death. Following the incident, the Nigeria police arrested Nwachukwu, and he has been in detention. Meanwhile, suspended Accountant General of the Federation Ahmed Idris has been released by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The FCC spokesperson Wilson Owojaren, who confirmed this on Thursday, said Idris was released on bail from the custody of the Anti-Graft Agency on Wednesday night in Abuja and has since been reunited with his family. Idris was arrested by the operatives of the FCC on May 16, 2022 over alleged 80 billion naira fraud. Also, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has closed its case against a former governor of Plateau State, Jonah David Jang, and a former cashier in the office of the Secretary to the State Government, Yusuf Pam. The case, which is before Justice C.L. Dabup of the Plateau High Court sitting in Jos, was closed after the Commission presented 14 witnesses and tendered several exhibits. Jang and Pam are facing trial for alleged criminal breach of trust and misappropriation of Plateau State funds to the tune of 6.3 billion naira. After the prosecution closed this case, the defendants were expected to open their defense on Wednesday. However, their legal team, led by Mike Ezechome, informed the court of their decision not to do so. Rather, Ezechome is inviting the prosecution to address the court within 14 days and hopes to reply in 10 days, while the prosecution has another 5 days to reply on point of law. Thereafter, the judge adjourned the matter to the 1st of July for adoption of written addresses. You are watching Trust TV News Update. Still to come on the news, caring for the elderly. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels. Leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. Tinubu makes claims on the 2015 and 2019 elections. And reactions trail emergence of two sons of Chief Justice in Bauchi primaries. Now moving on to other news. The federal government says it is in the final stage of establishing aging desks in 32 MDAs to accelerate effective inclusion of older persons in strategic plans, programs, activities, budget lines, as well as monitoring and evaluation frameworks of MDAs. Director General of the National Senior Citizens Center, Omokaro, disclosed this at a workshop for desk officers from 32 MDAs, as well as officers from the House Committees on Disabilities and that of Women and Social Development. The report.
Organized by the National Senior Citizens Center in collaboration with the United Nations Population Fund, the workshop focused on planning and implementation aspects of MDA's mandates in relation to aging policy in Nigeria. The Director General of the Center, Omokaro, informed that this training is, among other things, to enhance knowledge of population aging, stem stereotypes, and institutional discrimination against older people, and to enhance appreciation of the rights of older persons to inclusion in the development agenda.
With the establishment of the National Senior Citizens Center as a focal agency of aging and older persons, is a coordinating, initiating, collaborating, and lobbying, I must say, agency. So now it is our place to do what we are doing here today, to partner with MDAs and then to ensure that all the MDAs who host these statutory mandates that intersect with our mandate really understand the issues and to work with them to ensure that the issues are defined and can be broken down into programs that are age appropriate for older persons.
Country Director of UNFPA, Ula Elizabeth Muella, whose message was delivered by Telson Ojogun, reaffirmed the fund's commitment to assist Nigeria address the challenges facing older citizens, especially as the aging population continues to grow faster than the general population.
We thank the government of Nigeria for recognizing this and committing to addressing the issues and concerns of older persons in Nigeria. I want to emphasize UNFPA's commitment and participation in ensuring old people's continued inclusion in society, as well as in the development and implementation of policies that directly influence their well-being integrated into the society.
Statistician General of the Federation and Chief Executive of the National Bureau of Statistics, Samuel Adeniran, represented by the Director, Social and General Services, Tunde Adebisi, made a case for timely, statistical and internationally acceptable data on the aging population to ensure that the right policies are implemented for older people.
Reliable, timely and up-to-date data remains very essential to formulation of good policies that will address the concerns of elderly persons in Nigeria. Consequently, the time is now for all critical stakeholders, data producer, user, supply of data, to brace up in their roles so as to put an end to burdens of the elderly.
Special Advisor to the President on Humanitarian Affairs, Musa Bongudu, called for both individual and collective efforts from relevant MDAs and partnering organizations to ensure that the challenges facing older people are addressed.
Please, may I take this opportunity and in conclusion, appeal to all of us. Let's see what we can do as individuals, what we can do to enhance these services that are reaching them.
Government is hopeful that with desk offices and officers and MDAs, issues bordering on aging will be properly mainstreamed into specific programs and services for the benefit of older people.
Now, as the strike embarked upon by the Academic and Staff Union of Universities, ASU, continues, university students remain stuck at home. Ironically, despite the absence of students, the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University, Katsina, has been granted approval by the National Universities Commission to run some special education programs. The Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Sanusi Mamman, dropped the hint while addressing journalists in his office. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
With these approvals, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University can now admit students with special needs to study at the Department of Special Education. The Special Education Department was introduced to admit students from the School for the Blind, Katsina, and the School for the Deaf in Molomfaishi. This is in addition to others graduating from Polytechnic and other colleges of education.
Yeah, here in Katsina, when they could graduate, not many universities are ready to accept them to come and pursue higher degree. So they are ready, they can come now. School for the blind, you end up seeing them in the filling station begging when they ought to have been sponsored by somebody to come and pursue their degrees there. So we have now a place and all the equipment required to train these individuals, they are there.
The Vice-Chancellor also spoke extensively on the long-awaited conversion of Federal Medical Center Katsina to a teaching hospital for students studying medicine at the university.
For those who are wishing to have their children to read medicine, they should get them prepared and get extra lessons for them to come to teach them to be able to earn 200 and above in subsequent JAM examinations.
Similarly, to restore the lost glory of agriculture in Katsina State, Umar Musa Yar'Adua University has established Faculty of Agriculture at Line Minister in Malumfashi local government area to encourage research and development.
The international relations is a social science course. If we can help people to read this area, it will help a lot. In subsequent years, a lot of things will be done. But I want to assure the world that all the required equipment, facilities are made available in the university for people to excel in those areas. So far, we have approval to commence 14 programs. We are waiting for the NUC resource verification to approve another 9 new programs, including PhD in biology, educational psychology, curriculum, and other related subjects.
Beyond the approvals by the NUC, these programs could only be achieved with funding, provision of equipment, and enough infrastructure at the university.
So we introduced and got approval from the NUC to commence bachelor's degree in integrated science, business administration, business education, primary education, early childhood education, as well as Department of Special Education, which was established and constructed.
Observers say Nigeria's development will remain at a snail's speed unless stringent measures are taken to discourage strike action at all levels of education. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Crossed Television News, Katsina.
And still talking education, a total of 19,385 candidates in Gombe State are taking part in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination in 112 public and private schools. Now, this comes after the state government paid the exam fees for the students of both public secondary schools in the state. Ibrahim Ismail reports from Gombe.
These are students of Government Science Secondary School, GSSS Gombe, sitting for the 2022 June-July West African Senior School Certificate Examination. The school registered 401 students from the total of 19,385 candidates sponsored by the Inwaya-led administration. Some visibly enlightened students say they were prepared for the examination.
In terms of our performance, I want to tell the governor that we are trying in this school and we are reading, and our teachers are highly qualified teachers who spend their times to teach us and also to study before they come to the classroom.
No, I read very hard, so hard because I want to pass my exam. And I even spend the whole night reading because I want to score this exam. I'm expecting a very good result. I got so, inshallah.
However, Sokoto and Zamfara State's candidates were not registered for WAEC due to the inability of the state governments to settle outstanding debts. Parents in Gombe are grateful to the state government for ensuring that their children are not left out. I won't be able to pay for my child's exam fee. Without government assistance, he could have been a school dropout. It's difficult to take the responsibilities of his siblings at home and catering for the family. An educationist called on other governments in the region to emulate Gombe State and give priority to basic education by sponsoring students to take part in relevant examinations.
The student may think of spending all this 12 years, and at last, in a sort of him or her, to get a certificate that can help them to go to the higher institution, but they are not being opportune. That may provoke them to start negative thinking.
Gombe State government said it is optimistic the performance of students in WAEC will continue to witness tremendous improvement.
That Gombe State, in terms of external examination, we recorded 79.5% out of a total of 15,000 students that sat for WAS. We recorded 79.5% of those students that passed WAEC examination with 5 credits, including English and Maths. Minimum.
1,607,985 candidates in 20,221 secondary schools nationwide are writing the May-June 2022 West African Senior School Certificate Examination from Gombe. Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
And now for a quick look at sports, where Antonio Rudiger has completed his move to Real Madrid from Chelsea on a free transfer, signing a 4-year deal. The 29-year-old German international has joined the new Spanish and European champions after rejecting Chelsea's attempts to extend his contract. Rudiger moved to Chelsea for an initial fee of £29 million from Roma in 2017. He made 203 appearances and scored 12 goals for the Blues, winning the FA Cup, Champions League, Europa League, UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup. And with that, we wrap up Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.